The unsettled thing does not need to be resolved before Monday. It needs to be settled. That distinction carries everything, because the person who confuses settling with resolving will spend the Sunday attempting to resolve what is genuinely unresolvable before Monday, and will arrive at Monday having failed at the wrong task. The resolution of the relationship that is in a difficult season cannot be produced by Sunday's effort. The clarification of the decision that needs more information will not arrive because Sunday worked hard enough toward it. The certainty about the future that has not yet revealed itself will not be generated by Sunday's analysis. But settling is different. Settling does not require the thing to be resolved. It requires the person to be settled in relation to the unresolved thing. The thing stays unresolved. The person is no longer unsettled by it. The situation remains uncertain. The person carries the uncertainty from a different interior position. The question without a clear answer is still without a clear answer. The person is no longer agitated by the absence of the answer. That is what God does to what is unsettled. He does not manufacture the resolution. He settles the person in relation to the unresolved. He brings to the interior, in the quiet of a Sunday morning before the week begins, the specific quality of settledness that makes the unresolved thing navigable rather than destabilizing. This is Sunday, May 17th. Before the new week has said a word, before Monday has presented the unsettled things in the context of the week's fresh demands, before the unresolved situations have been placed back in the immediate foreground by the week's arriving, you came here. To be settled before the week presents what is unsettled, to receive the specific interior quality that makes the Monday encounter with the unresolved thing different from the Sunday night encounter with it. To carry something different into the week than what the Sunday's unsettlement was producing. His word declares in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, verse 33, that God is not a God of disorder, but of peace, not of disorder. The unsettled interior is the disordered interior. The things that have not found their proper place, the relationship tension without a resolution, the decision without a direction, the uncertainty without an answer, all of them disordering the interior by occupying positions they were not designed to occupy permanently. And God, who is not a God of disorder, brings order to the disordered interior, not by resolving what is unresolved. By bringing his peace into the positions the disorder is occupying and establishing something more stable than the disorder in its place. Before we enter this prayer, write in the comments right now, Lord, settle what is unsettled in me before this week begins. I bring you the disorder and I receive your peace. Write it as the bringing and the receiving. The presenting of the unsettled thing and the receiving of the settled quality that does not require the resolution to arrive first. Like this video, as an act of choosing the settled beginning over the unsettled continuation. Subscribe to this channel so we can begin every week together before the Monday has had its say about the unsettled things. And share this prayer with someone whose Sunday is being shaped by something that has not yet found its resolution. Not to offer the resolution, to offer the settling that precedes and enables and survives the resolution whenever it arrives. Now let us bring the unsettled things to the God who settles without requiring the resolution first. Lord my God and my Father, I come before you on this Sunday morning, and I name the specific things that are unsettled in my interior as this new week begins. The relationship that has not arrived at its better place, that is still in the season of difficulty that the previous weeks did not resolve. That will still be in that season when Monday begins, and the week requires me to navigate it again from whatever starting point Sunday leaves me in. The relationship is unsettled, and I bring it now. The decision that has been forming without arriving at its conclusion, where more information would help and is not yet available, where the deciding feels premature and the not deciding feels unsustainable. The decision is unsettled, and I bring it now. The situation whose outcome is genuinely uncertain, that could develop in multiple directions, that has variables I cannot control and dependencies I cannot predict, that exists in a state of genuine openness that the analysis has not been able to close. The outcome is unsettled, and I bring it now. The question about direction in my own life, about what this season is for, what is being built here, where the faithfulness of the previous months and years is leading. The question that has been present longer than seems reasonable and that has not yet received the clarity that would allow it to be answered. That question is unsettled, and I bring it now. I name these, not to present you with information you do not have, to do the act that changes my relationship to them, to bring what is unsettled from the position of the person managing the unsettlement to the position of the person who has placed the unsettled things before the one who settles. Your word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 19, that when anxiety was great within me, your consolation brought me joy. When anxiety was great, not when anxiety was managed to a spiritually acceptable level. When it was great, in that specific condition, the consolation arrived. The settling happened in the full presence of the unsettlement rather than after the unsettlement had been managed down. Settle what is great within me today, Lord, in its full presence, without requiring the greatness to diminish first. Father, I want to understand what settling actually does that leaves the unresolved thing unresolved. Settling repositions the person in relation to the thing. The unsettled person is in the same position as the thing. They are inside the uncertainty, running the analysis from within the fog of the unresolved. The analysis cannot produce clarity from inside the fog. It can only produce more fog, more anxiety-shaped interpretation of the limited information available from inside the unresolved position. The settled person is in a different position. They have not been elevated above the thing or removed from it. They have been placed alongside it in the way that a person who is accompanied is alongside their difficulty rather than alone inside it. The thing is still there. The uncertainty is still genuine. The unresolved nature of it is real. But the person's position in relation to it has changed. They are no longer inside it alone. They are alongside it with the one who settles. And from alongside, in the company of the settler, the thing looks different than it looked from inside it alone. Your word declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4, that even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Walk through, not elevated above, through in it, but with the company of the one who comforts, and from within the valley in the company of the shepherd. The valley is the same valley, and the fear is replaced by something the company produces. The rod and the staff, the active, present, attending presence of the one who settles without requiring the valley to clear first. And I want to name something about the settled position that is counterintuitive. The settled person is not further from the unresolved thing than the unsettled person. They are closer. The unsettled person is managing the thing from inside it, which means the thing is occupying the interior, and the interior is trying to manage from within what it is inside of. That is not closeness, that is submersion. The settled person has given the thing to God, which places the thing in the most attentive hands possible. God is closer to the unsettled thing than the person's interior management was. The relationship that is given to God on Sunday morning is in the hands of the one who knows both people in it, who loves both people in it, who is working in both interiors simultaneously in ways the person's management from inside the relationship cannot replicate. The surrendering of the management is the intensifying of the care by placing it in hands that care more completely. Your word declares in the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7 to cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Cares for you. The casting is not the ending of care. It is the entrusting of care to the one who cares more completely. The thing is more attended to in God's hands than it was in the interior's management. The settling is not distance from what matters. It is proximity to the one who holds what matters with the fullness that human management cannot provide. Lord, settle what is unsettled in me before this week begins. I bring you the disorder, and I receive your peace. And Father, I want to ask for something about the practical difference between the settled interior and the unsettled one as the week begins. Because settling is not only a spiritual state, it produces practical differences in how the week is entered. The unsettled person enters Monday in the posture of the person managing the unsettlement. They are partially occupied by the ongoing interior processing of the unresolved things. A portion of their attention, which could have been given to the actual Monday, is being held by the anxiety about the unresolved situation that the Sunday did not resolve. The Monday conversation is had by the person who is partially elsewhere. The Monday decision is made by the person who is carrying the unsettled thing into the deciding. The Monday beginning is weaker than it needed to be because what the person brought to it was divided. The settled person enters Monday from a different position. The unresolved things are in God's hands rather than in the interior's management. The attention that was held by the anxiety about the outcome is available for the actual Monday. The Monday conversation receives the full person. The Monday decision is made by the person who is not simultaneously managing the unsettled thing. The Monday beginning is stronger than it would have been because what the person brought to it was gathered rather than divided. Your word declares in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 25 and 34, that Jesus says, "Do not worry about your life, and do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." The settling is the practical application of this instruction, not the denial of the future's existence. The releasing of the future's worry to the God who holds the future, so that today's attention can be fully given to today. Lord, I want to pray now about what the settled interior specifically brings to the new week's beginning: receptivity, the specific, practical, relational quality of a person who is present to what is arriving rather than occupied by what has not been resolved. The settled person receives the Monday morning differently. The inbox is encountered by someone whose interior is not competing with the inbox for attention. The first conversation of the week is had by someone whose presence is not divided between the conversation and the unresolved thing. The first decision is made by someone who is actually at the decision rather than partially managing the ongoing anxiety about something else. That receptivity changes the quality of what the week receives from the person and what the person receives from the week. The settled person gives the week better attention, and the week gives the settled person things the divided attention would have missed. There is a moment in the book of John, chapter 11, that belongs to this prayer. Mary and Martha send word to Jesus that Lazarus is ill. And Jesus, upon arriving days later, does not immediately go to the tomb. He asks Martha where they have laid him. He asks Mary when she comes the same kind of attending question. He's present to each person's specific grief. He wept. He received what was actually happening in the people in front of him before he did what he came to do. The settled person is the person who can do that, who can be present to what is actually happening in the people in front of them because the interior is not occupied with its own unresolved processing. Who can receive the specific grief or the specific need or the specific offering of the person in the Monday meeting because the Monday meeting has the full person's attention. Your word declares in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19, to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, quick to listen. That is the quality of the settled interior. The divided, unsettled interior is slow to listen because it is processing the unsettled thing alongside what is being said. The settled interior is quick to listen because the interior's processing has been quieted by the settling, and the listening capacity is available. And I want to ask for something about what the receptive, settled person specifically offers the weak's relationships that the unsettled person cannot consistently provide. The willingness to be changed by what they hear. The unsettled person hears through the filter of the unsettled thing. What is said is received and evaluated through the lens of what the unsettled thing has produced in the interior. The relationship difficulty colors what the colleague says. The decision anxiety filters what the partner offers. The unsettled thing is in the room of every conversation. The settled person hears without that filter occupying the foreground. What is said is received more directly. The person's actual meaning is more accessible. And in the receiving without the filter, the possibility of being genuinely changed by what is heard becomes real, not only processing it through the existing categories, actually receiving it as potentially new. Your word declares in the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 15, that the heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. The discerning heart and the seeking ear. The qualities that belong to the settled interior that is not occupied with the unsettled things management. The interior that has space to discern, to seek, to receive what is genuinely being offered rather than what the unsettled filter produces from what is offered. Lord, settle what is unsettled in me before this week begins. I bring you the disorder and I receive your peace. Lord, settle what is unsettled in me before this week begins. I bring you the disorder, and I receive your peace. Father, I want to ask for something about how the settling holds through the week when the unsettled things are encountered directly, because the week will present the unsettled things. Monday will not know that Sunday settled the person. The relationship that is in a difficult season will not have become easier because Sunday's settling happened. The decision that needed more information will still need it. The uncertain outcome will still be uncertain. And when the Monday moment arrives, where the unsettled thing is directly present in the immediate situation, the settling that happened in Sunday's prayer will be tested. Does it hold? It holds not. Because the Monday moment does not test it, because the settling was placed in the interior before the testing moment arrived. The person who is settled carries the settledness into the testing moment rather than trying to generate it in the moment. And the settledness in the testing moment is not the person's generated composure. It is the received quality from the Sunday morning prayer that held through the time between the prayer and the test. Your word declares in the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 7 that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. Guard, active, present. The guard is stationed before the Monday testing moment. The peace that was received in the Sunday settling is not a resource that depletes as Monday makes its claims. It guards, actively. At every testing point the Monday produces, the guard holds. Not because the testing was not real, because the peace that is guarding is larger than the testing. The unsettled thing is real. The peace guarding the heart and the mind in the encounter with the unsettled thing is more real. And Father, I want to name something about the Sunday settling that reaches into the week in a way that the person cannot feel from inside the Sunday. The settling produces trust, not the trust that has been rationally argued into existence, the trust that is produced by being settled by a God whose settling is real. Each Sunday morning, where the unsettled things are brought before God and the settling genuinely happens, adds a layer to the trust, not dramatically, incrementally. Over time, the person who brings the unsettled things to God on Sundays and receives the settling develops a relationship to unsettled things that is different from the person who manages the unsettled things alone. They do not need the resolution to arrive to find peace. They have found it before the resolution, repeatedly, and the finding has built the trust that the next unsettled thing will also be settled by the one who has settled every previous one. Your word declares in the book of Romans, chapter 5, verse 3 through 5, that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit who has been given to us, the hope that does not put to shame, the hope that the accumulated Sundays of settling have produced, the hope that is not contingent on the resolution arriving. That is the gift the faithful practice of the Sunday settling builds over time, hope that is not ashamed. Father, as this prayer closes, I want to receive something very specific for the week that is beginning. A word, not the specific answer to the specific unsettled question. A word that holds through the week, regardless of what the week produces. A word that is truer than the Monday's presentation of the unsettled things. A word that the settled Sunday person carries into every Monday moment where the unsettling tries to reassert itself. The word is this: I am with you in it. Not with you watching from a distance. With you in the unsettled thing. In the relationship that has not resolved. In the decision that does not yet have its answer. In the uncertainty about the outcome. In the question about direction. In all of it. With you. Present, attending, holding what is holding the person, going before into what the Monday will present and being there when the Monday person arrives. Your word declares in the book of Matthew chapter 28 verse 20 that Jesus says, surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Always. Not when the unsettled things have resolved. And I want to receive something about the always that changes how the word is carried into the week. The always is not a blanket promise that covers everything without attending to anything. It is the presence that was specifically in the room of every moment of the previous week, and that is specifically entering the room of every moment of the coming week. The presence that was in the unsettled thing before the prayer named it. That is in it now. That will be in it on Monday when Monday presents it again. That will be in it on Wednesday when Wednesday presents whatever Wednesday adds to it. Always. In. Specifically present in every specific moment of the thing. That always is the word being carried, not the general assurance of divine presence, the specific, room by room, moment by moment, every encounter with the unsettled thing, always. That specific word, I am with you in it. Always. Your word declares in the book of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 20, that Jesus says, surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Always. Not when the unsettled things have resolved. Not when the relationship has arrived at its better season. Always. This Monday of unsettled things, this week of unresolved situations, this season of genuine uncertainty, always, with you in it, carry that word into the week. At every moment when the unsettled things present themselves with the suggestion that the Sunday settling did not take, return to the word, I am with you in it. That word holds what the settling produced and maintains it through every testing moment the week contains. Lord, settle what is unsettled in me before this week begins. I bring you the disorder, and I receive your peace. That is the declaration this Sunday closes with, and this week begins from. The unsettled things are named. The God who settles without requiring the resolution first has been brought into contact with them. The peace that surpasses understanding is guarding the heart and the mind, and the word is received. I am with you in it, always, into the Monday and through the week and beyond what this week's unsettled things will eventually become. To everyone who prayed with me this morning, go back to the comments and write it one final time. Lord, settle what is unsettled in me before this week begins. I bring you the disorder and I receive your peace. Carry that into Monday. Return to it when the Monday presents the unsettled things in their fresh week immediacy. The settling holds, the peace guards, the word is true. Subscribe to this channel and come back tomorrow morning. We begin the week together, every week. Before the Monday has had the first word about the unsettled things, share this prayer with someone who is entering this week from inside what has not yet been resolved. Not to offer the resolution, to offer the settling. What you send might be the Sunday morning word they needed before the Monday tested it. May the Lord settle every unsettled thing in your interior today with the specific, personal, attending peace of the God who is not a God of disorder. May the peace guard your heart and your mind through every Monday moment the unsettled things are tested in. May the word I am with you in it be the word you return to at every point the testing tries to revise what the Sunday settling established. And may you arrive at the following Sunday with the quiet evidence of someone who was settled before the week unsettled and who found that the settling held. In Jesus' name, amen.